Hello, welcome back to The Remedy, brought to you by Coos Health and Wellness. I'm Eric Gleason. Today we're joined again by Dane Zahner from HIV Alliance. You're the Prevention and Education Manager. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, thank you for having me. As you said, I do the prevention and education for 5 rural counties in Oregon, Lane, Douglas, Coos, Curry, and Josephine. And I appreciate you having me here today.
No, we're so glad you could make it. What are you guys seeing as regards of Coos County and the surrounding area?
You know, recently in the last 24 months, we've seen 10 new infections, and that is concerning. So we got a little cluster of HIV infections going on, which I think just increases the need for understanding and testing. And so we do come over twice a month, and then periodically throughout the year we work with Southwest Oregon Community College coming out to do term testing during the terms. Mm-hmm. And it really helps us hit our population. And I think it's just working with our partners here in Coos County, Coos Bay, North Bend, and communicating the message of need for testing. And when they come in for testing, we go through a whole council and tell them their risks. You know, yes, we're trying to identify the 2 highest risk categories, people that inject drugs and also men who have sex with men. But anybody that is not protecting themselves sexually and they're sexually active, multiple partners, they need to test. And that's what our council really does. It tells them how HIV and how Hep C are contracted. You know, they're both bloodborne illnesses and spread blood to blood. And HIV can also be transferred via semen, mm-hmm. and also vaginal juice and anal juice. So there's more risk around that. So people aren't using condoms to protect themselves. There's PrEP, NPEP if they've had a accidental exposure, and that understanding. So, I mean, those are some of the risks that are out there today. Is that I think it's just counseling people on how often they need and the frequency of testing based on their risk factors.
Sure. So how does the HIV Alliance help actually support the folks who are trying to take the steps to protect themselves?
Offering free testing. So our testing, there is no cost to the HIV or Hep C test. We encourage people to test for both when we're testing, and based on risk, you know, the Hep C is optional if they are not encountering those risk factors. As again, it's blood to blood. So if they're not using injection drug equipment or having higher men who have sex with men's sexual practices, then the HIV is typically what we'll stick with, but unless they have those other risk factors. But it's absolutely free. And that council really tells them about HIV, how it's contracted, talks about Hep C and the risk factors there, and just gives everybody an understanding. We counsel them on, we ask a lot of questions detailed on their sexual practices, injection drug use, you know, and everybody goes through those questions. And from that, we determine, you know, typically if somebody's at a higher risk category, we're telling them to test at least every 3 months. Also telling them to screen for STIs. You know, in some of our offices, like Eugene, we do STI screening. We're implementing the syphilis screen as part of our fundamental testing program throughout all counties here soon. And it just gives people a better understanding of one more. STIs are at a high point right now too.
Sure. How can they contact you guys? Find programs?
You know, they can go to our website. We also have a Facebook page, but if they go to our website at hivalliance.org, it has all of our different testing opportunities throughout the counties we serve. Rural Oregon is underserved, so we've really been trying to not only expand into Coos County, we've expanded in Curry County and Josephine to promote access. And then, of course, Douglas, we have an office there in Roseburg, and so they can test 4 days a week there also.
Awesome. So if you have any questions, reach out to the HIV Alliance. And for The Remedy, brought to you by Coos Health and Wellness, thanks for joining us.